My name is Mellis Cordoba. I'm 26 years old. I'm a claims examiner throughout the day, basically a regular 9 to 5, and then usually at night I'm a baker. It was actually kind of, I stumbled upon it. We were doing a Super Bowl party kind of thing, and we needed a bowl to make a football cake. We stopped by Michael's and with a couple friends, we just bought regular, basic baking stuff, and then we kind of made a really ugly cake, and it kind of went from there. I kind of fell in love with the store. I went back, took some introductory kind of classes where they teach you just basic things about, cutting little shapes and things. And after that, I basically just went online and kind of got into it more. I asked for at least 3 weeks notice for cakes because, it's hard with having a regular 40-hour week at work. So I like to have advance notice so I have time to go to the supermarket, go buy my cake supplies, cake boards, boxes, things.
Where do you do your baking?
Definitely at home. Like I mentioned, I have my regular 9 to 5, so I try to do everything I can throughout, the time that I have when I get home. Try to run to the supermarket, get home as much as I can, prepare as much as I can, and then try to get as many hours of sleep so I can be awake at work.
Where do you keep your baking instruments?
They're kind of scattered right now since, an apartment is kind of tight to keep all my stuff. I have my mixer and a bunch of tools, so I have kind of like drawers in the kitchen, drawers in the living room. I'm kind of taking over the whole apartment right now. But I pretty much, it's kind of an organized mess. I know where everything is, so I can easily just remember where certain things are. But they're definitely scattered all over. Like if I had a giant kitchen, it would definitely be a lot better. When a cake is baked, it kind of has a little dome or mound on top. What I do is I kind of cut that off. And the best way of doing that is when it's frozen. If not, you get crumbs all over the cake. After that, after I torte the cake, normally put the filling, depending on what the client wanted. Then you frost it. You do basically it's called like a crumb coat. What that does is it keeps all the crumbs in the cake. So that way there aren't any crumbs on the outside of the cake. I won't start an order until I have a deposit, things like that. So it depends. The longest cake will probably be like, because I work, it takes different days. If I could work throughout the day, it will probably be easier. So I'd say maybe like 8-10 hours in total, something like that. So Jack and Sally, those things you can make ahead of time because you need them to get hard. Hopefully my dream is to just do that. I wish that that's my kind of dream right there. Working towards that goal definitely. I am going to a cake exposition in April, so I'm very excited about that. Pretty thrilled. Just finished booking some stuff right now, so I'll be able to take classes with really amazing cake artists and decorators. So I'm really thrilled about that. Hopefully, learning from them will help me, get more into 3D cakes and things like that. It's a nerve-wracking feeling. Just you want to make sure that you're satisfying everyone, but at the same time you want to make sure you're sane. I was like, I need to make sure I have everything. I had notes written everywhere, making sure that the cakes looked exactly what I pictured in my head, things like that. And at the end of the day, I want the client to look at it and really like it, and also it has to taste good. So yeah, it's a very nerve-wracking thing. You kind of go through the motions. You're making the cake, and then I'm a perfectionist, so I think it's ugly, and then people are like, no, it's not, you're crazy. But then it's like, once you put it all together, you're kind of like, okay, it looks good. Yeah. I'm one that I'll be on Pinterest for hours, and you just keep going into other things, and then you're like, how did I get here? But you see what other people use. Like if my fondant smoother broke, now I know I could just go grab a folder and just use that instead. So little things like that, you see that other people are they think about random stuff. Just stepping back and looking at what you created is the best part. Other things that I like even more than that are when clients actually send you photos of, their kids' reaction to the cake. Their setup definitely, once the cake is there and the balloons and the background, everything's so pretty. That's definitely one of my favorite things.